Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first podcast of 2025.
That's why.
Been on a little hiatus, but we're back at it, man. And what better way to get back at it than with my guy, Keyyaun Batchman. Key, appreciate you being on, my guy.
Man, I appreciate the invite. This is pretty dope. Pretty cool.
For sure, man. So for people listening that may not know who you are, what you're about, let the people know, man, who you are, where you've been, what you do.
So pretty sure everybody know the school Chaminade. So I've been to Chaminade, but I'm so stupid. Transferred to like the last semester of my senior year to St. Louis Christian, man. Yeah, but yeah, I've been to Chaminade, St. Louis Christian, and then for college, played for college. Went to JUCO first. I went to Mineral Area College, and then kind of went to Lindenwood, and then took a little break and came back. Went to Missouri Baptist, then Maryville. So I got a little bit of everything, bro. A little bit of everything, but yeah, that's kind of the background as far as like sports and things like that. So
okay. Then from there, what happened? What are you up to now? Man,
adulting.
Hell yeah, corporate.
Yeah, bro. I'm in the corporate world right now, but still pursuing the desires of my heart. I'm very, very big into mental health. Mental health is something that men specifically don't like believe in or don't touch on as much. We feel as if we gotta be so strong instead of like realizing that being strong is being in tune with your emotions. Like, cause we don't do it. Like we run away from it. So that's a sense of strength instead of actually being muscular and lifting and all of that. So right now, in the pursuit of being a public speaker, motivational speaker, and also have an eyewear line back behind mental health called the Funk Apparel, and just starting those two things, but eventually it's going to be amazing.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Do you know, I wish I knew his last name. There's a dude named Caleb. He's not from St. Louis, but he hooped at Syracuse and then Creighton for a minute and then overseas low-key, but he does public speaking tour type stuff on mental health. I'm going to send you a video because I think there's like a lot of similarities for sure. Okay, so Chaminade, and then so you transferred second semester of your senior year.
Yeah, bro.
Crazy. What went into that?
Bro.
Because senior year, I feel like, is supposed to be the victory lap. Like, you got 3 years under your belt. You know how things work.
Bro, and not a lot of people know this, but I was on track to be the first person in the state of Missouri to ever average a triple-double. Like, the whole season.
Really?
Yeah. Whole first semester, I averaged like a triple-double. And then, to be honest, I would say it would be just people-pleasing is the reason I left. So just wanted to please the people around me. Certain people was in my ear, and can't really blame them, because I actually did the move. So I'm a man about it. I made that mistake, but it was a lot of ego, a lot of pride involved, and something that I definitely learned from because basketball aside, I wasn't able to experience graduation with my best friends. That's probably the thing that hurts a little bit more, being able to see them, smoke the cigar, Chaminade, take the pictures, and then I'm at St. Louis Christian, blessed to be at that place, but it wasn't the same as the other 3 years that I had with my best friend. So, yeah, very, I would say for people listening, don't be a people pleaser. Don't be a people pleaser. Walk your own path and embrace the trials and triumphs that you go through, and be present in every moment, because every moment is not going to be your best, but it's going to be a story to tell. So,
I like what you said about the move was probably because like you had people in your ear telling you, but then you said that you like took responsibility. Like, I'm the one that pulled the trigger, I think that separates you from a lot of other people potentially.
It's very easy to put the blame on somebody else about your life because you feel better and you don't feel like the weight of you having a wrong move on yourself. You feel as if we don't give ourselves constructive criticism, Right. Like I said this in a video, we don't want correction, we want confirmation. Like we don't want to be told that we're doing something wrong. You know, we just want somebody to confirm our actions. You know, like, hey, yeah, you're doing right, but you don't want them type of people. You don't want them type of people around you. And it starts with yourself, though. You got to acknowledge yourself whenever you're messing up. Acknowledge that at the end of the day, you're going to make a decision that you want to make. Like, can't nobody really force you to do anything. You will allow them to sway you into this direction, but that's only because you really want to go there. So I don't put the blame on nobody but myself.
Yeah. And I found for me, that's where a lot of my confidence comes from, is I have trust in myself that I'm going to keep it a buck. Like, if I'm BSing, I'm going to be the first one to say that, like, I need to be doing better. So then when I have whatever the situation is and it's like, oh yeah, I'm that guy,
Facts.
You know, then I'm feeling it like times 10 because I know I can call it out when it's the opposite, you know?
Right, you can do it. You know you can do it, like, and you did it by yourself. Like, you didn't let anybody sway you, or you didn't let anybody control or dictate whatever you're going to do. It was like, yo, I made the decision for myself, and it panned out. Like,
right.
So that's how that confidence, that charisma, all of that come about. That's pretty much, that's the best feeling, bro.
Yeah.
That's the best feeling.
So Chaminade is up there in terms of like talent that's walked through the doors. Yeah. Is there, so like practice every day, just in the school maybe, but like practices, locker room, like the whole team experience, is there like just what's the vibes like? Because there's like high standards. There's a lot of talent that goes in those doors.
I would say you definitely feel it without even knowing it. It's like Coach Frank, rightfully so, demands a lot out of you. And there's nothing wrong about that. He wants you to be the best version of yourself, like as a man, nothing to do with just basketball. Like the term was estovir. It was like be a man. So when you walk in those doors, not even just the court, when you walk in those doors and you're around all these different people from different walks of life, you feel a vibe of like these people really want to do something with their life. Like everybody there really has a goal. You know, everybody there has an end goal of where they want to be with their life. So, excuse me, I would say you just felt it. And you just, if you're a person who really wants to be better, who really wants to strive and be great, you embrace it. Because there's so many people you can connect with. There's so many friendships you could create. There's so much motivation you could gain from those people that you don't even know. Like in practice was amazing. Like it was so competitive. And it had nothing to do with any of us not liking each other. It had everything to do with us wanting to be the best version of ourselves. So indirectly, we're like having the best practices we probably ever have. Like even in college, like it was motivating. It was exciting. It was different for me, and it was fresh. It was something that was so fresh and something that I cherish so much about Chaminade, for sure.
Did you live on campus?
No, I didn't. I had a stint, but nah, not really.
Okay. So then, even without staying on campus, there's just this bond that you form with classmates, but then like your teammates, you're with them for practice 2-3 hours every day. Like there's a bond for sure. So then I would imagine, okay, hold up. Why second semester did you transfer? Like that's so random to me.
Yeah, I could be completely honest about it. It was, Coach Graham was not telling me something wrong. He was telling me something that I didn't see at that age.
Who's that?
He was assistant coach.
Okay, gotcha.
Great guy, person who saw something in a different light, but I didn't know. You know, in my mind, it's my senior year. I want to go out my way. I want to do things my way. I was praising myself, right? Praising how I wanted to end my career instead of praising the team, trying to be better for the team. So that's all he was really trying to say was like, yo, let's just do this a little better. Like, yeah, you're on track to be the first person ever to average a triple-double. Let's do it a little different. You know, like he was basically just like, yo, let's win in a different, like, because you're winning now, but we're trying to win state. So you're probably going to burn out. You're playing the whole game and all of this. So, like, it was, at the break, it was just like something that occurred, and I was like, yo, I'm cool. I ain't got to go. I tried to go to a prep school. I tried to go to Sunrise at the semester.
Okay.
Didn't work. And then they actually were like, yo, like, just come back, bro. Like, we don't want you to leave. We want to figure out what the problem is. And me being a child, me being immature, I was like, I'm cool, bro. I was running away from correction. I was running away from the hard conversations to have because I never really had that. I've always had that, yo, Keyyaun, you're right. Yo, Keyyaun, you got this. Yo, like, you good, bro. Like, whatever you want. Like, you this, you that. But then when you have a conversation about yourself, your true identity is like, bro, you're not even half the man you can be. And that's hard to take, you know, when you've been taught this, like, I'm up here, but you're really, like, not even halfway there. So I ran away from that. I was immature. I just had a lot of things in my ear, a lot of people in my ear. And if I could do it different, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't be who I am today. But it definitely was it was definitely wild to do, though.
Yeah.
It was definitely wild to do, for sure.
It is crazy too, though, and I think people forget. I forget sometimes that high schoolers are 15, 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know shit.
Nothing.
Respectfully, like, just in terms of like decisions they're gonna make. Their character isn't like fully formed. I'm 23. My character and personality isn't the finished product, so much less a high schooler. And then they have to make these decisions. Do I stay? Do I go? Yeah. College, you know, are these offers that I have a good fit? Do I need more? Like, making that decision can be tough.
Yeah,
for sure. So get to Sunrise Christian, or I'm tripping, St. Louis Christian.
Yep,
okay.
Christian.
And so you're on the team for like January, February, March.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how did that go? Because you're kind of getting thrown into the fire to a team mid-season. Yeah. How did that adjustment go?
It was like I was a piece to like the finishing piece to a puzzle.
Okay. I
knew some of the guys already. Jordan Nesbitt. I knew Cortland Soule just a little bit from playing. And the other guys I like grew to have like a cool relationship. Like, I'm not a person who's like, at that point in my life, I was like, after making the move, I was like, bro, I'm open to anything. So I'm not going to be like, yo, this is how I got to be and this and that. And with that being said, like, things worked like simultaneously. Like, we played pretty well. We wasn't the best, but we played pretty well together. We enjoyed each other's time. It was like good group of guys, just real cool guys. And it was fun to be around my guy, Jordan Nesbitt. I love him. I haven't talked to him in a while, but Jay Nez, it was fun being around him, just like a breath of fresh air. He's a funny guy, so it was cool to enjoy his company. But it was, but to be honest, it wasn't Chaminade. Definitely wasn't Chaminade, but I'm grateful for it.
Yeah. It's cool because it sounds like you've come to terms with everything. Like, no L's, just lessons type of thing.
Facts.
Yeah. So you get done at St. Louis Christian. Well, before we go to that, you mentioned earlier you had a lot of people like gassing you up, kind of, whether that was heading into high school or during high school. We both graduated 2019. And so I definitely remember you being like, people were talking, you know, like you were playing with Brad Beal.
Yep.
Yeah. And then like working out with Frage and in the gym with all the guys he trains. So all the pros and stuff. Like, how did you handle that? Did you feel like this outside, maybe it was a pressure, but just like expectations for you?
I would say it was actually kind of different with being with the Eagles and being with Frage. Because I didn't handle it well. I felt like I was out of place. No matter how much I trained, no matter how good I was, the anxiety of wanting to be perfect, and for athletes, all athletes out there, just getting in your head. I had mental battles within my head. I'll see certain guys doing moves a little bit different than I could. So I'm like, bro, like I'm trash, you know, and it's actually not equivalent. So I wasn't able to reach my full potential at that time because I was afraid of being great. I was afraid of looking as like I messed up. Like, don't nobody want to mess up in the drill in front of all these pros or in front of all these people who's going Division I. You know, you don't want to look like you're the guy that shouldn't be there. So in my head, I'm like, bro, I know how much work I probably put in the same, if not more work than them. But when I got on Brad Beal Elite, I was scared. I was like 100% scared, and it had nothing to do with the people that we were playing against. Like I don't really care about big names, but it had everything to do with me being afraid of messing up. Like I was striving for perfection, without knowing I wouldn't get it. So if I worked out or if I made a move and it wasn't perfect, I didn't want to do it. I went back into a shell. So with Brad Beal, it was a different. It was a mental battle, and I'm pretty sure every athlete and been through something like that, not necessarily that, but like been through a mental battle of like, yo, am I really good? Like, can I perform the way I want to perform around these other people, knowing that I work out, I'm around them, I feel like I'm good enough to be with them. But then like you get like a mental block in your head and you just wind up looking horrible, which is kind of what I did with Brad Beal Elite. But with Chaminade, I never really felt the pressure. Because like Kobe's my favorite player, so like I kind of like loved that type of like, yo, everything's on you. So I never really felt like, oh, it's pressure. I just felt like this is how it's supposed to be. Everything's supposed to be on me because I can handle it. So yeah, like two different worlds, like night and day with those two things.
And that could sometimes make it harder if with Brad Beal, you think that you can't hang, but then with Chaminade, there's this big contrast of like the Kobe, like average a triple double, and then you get done with that, and then next summer, going back to Brad Beal, you kind of drop down. Like it's such a drastic difference. Yeah. You feel like that maybe made it worse in some situations?
It made me more prideful and more full of like rage, to be egotistic. Because once I got to Chaminade, I was like, I have to prove, like to them guys in the summer, whenever I play them, I'm better than y'all. And like it's not even like that, bro. like bro, we're all cool, bro. Like you just gotta play a role, and it's something that young athletes need to understand, and that's something I didn't understand. Yo, when you're with your school team, you can average 30. You can be a triple-double guy, but when you're with everybody else who could do the same thing as you, they may just do this one thing a little bit better, but you do this a little bit better than them. Bro, play a role so we all can win. Because every single last person on this team is the man on their team. But I wanted to be the man overall. It was just an ego thing. It was full of ego and full of pride. And if I can, back then, and how I thought, I was like, yo, if I can't have it my way, then it's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. So.
So you had mentioned with Brad Beal feeling like you couldn't hang with them, and then the term you used was like going into your shell. What does that look like? Like being passive, not really shooting it, or what does like going into your shell look like for you?
They would get so mad at me if I didn't shoot the ball. They would get so mad at me if I didn't shoot the ball, if I didn't dribble. Like I got anxious that somebody would steal the ball from me, but I would work on my handles every single day. But I got nervous, so I didn't really want to dribble. I just wanted to catch and shoot and play defense, like a 3-and-D. That's not me, but and I could have did a little bit more, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do anything that I'm gonna feel a little bit uncomfortable with. If I don't feel like shooting it, no matter if I'm wide open, I'm a pump fake. I'm gonna dribble into the defense, looking horrible. Like I'm a pump fake, dribble into the defense, make it a harder possession for my team, and then not do nothing offensively, but try my best like defense. So it was, to be honest, it was a horrible sight to see, because it was, for anybody who know me, it wasn't me. So it was like a shell of me being what I think people think I am, than me being exactly who I am.
Say that again.
For me being in the show, it's like me being who I think people think I am. Like people may think that I'm trash or that I can't do this or do that, instead of me being exactly who I think I am. And I know I am. I know I'm a person who works out. I know I'm a person who does this move. I know I'm a person who can score. I know I'm a person who can do anything on the court. But I'm laying down to what everybody else can think of me.
So you had this idea of how people view you, and then you end up like becoming that.
Like I needed validation.
Okay.
Like I needed people to tell me, yo, you're good. I need them to be like, yo, you good, Key. Like you super good at basketball. Yo, you do this, do that, Key. Like do it. Like I needed people to push me into it instead of me being like, yo, you know who you are. You don't need nobody to tell you how good you are. You know physically and mentally how much work you put into your craft every single week, every single day. But you want validation from your peers to know that you are like hanging with them. It's like, yo, we're all fighting for the same thing. We're all trying to get a Division I like scholarship. We're all trying to win. Like we ain't got time to really push you, Key. We trying to figure out our own life. And at this age now I can understand it. But then it's like, then it's like, yo, all I've known is people feeding my ego. I need my peers. I need the adults. I need the fans. I need everybody to feed my ego, and then I'm going to perform. If you're not feeding my ego, because I was trying to fill void. So if you're not feeding my ego, I'm not going to perform. And they're not going to do that. That's not the reality of life, which is like something that I needed to go through in order to think and be to where I am today.
So you just spoke on your peers or your teammates gassing you up, essentially.
Basically.
Was it like, did you respond better when coaches would say, hey, you got this, like pumping confidence into you? And how did you respond when it was the opposite? Like them getting on you, maybe yelling, cursing, whatever it is.
So I dealt with every type of coach before I was even in high school. But I was a person who dealt with so much off the court that when I come on the court, all I want is positivity. So like a coach yelling, a coach doing this or that, I'm either shut down or I'm going to go back and forth with you. I'm going to just be like, yo, you're not finna mess up my peace, basically. You're not finna mess up my peace. But with the person pumping it into me, it was like I was making them chase me. Like I would make them chase me with saying, yo, you good. If you tell me that the first time, I'm like, yeah, I hear you. If you tell me that 2 more times, yo, you good. Like you got this. I'm like, all right. I need you to tell me 5 more times. Yo, you good? Come on, Key, yo, Key. Like I need you to overexert positivity into my life. Like overexert it. And bro, that's not life. Like that's just not the reality. Like I wasn't at a point where I truly knew my identity, nor was I truly happy within myself. Like basketball was my identity. I didn't know who Keyyaun was. So if that's not, like if you're not feeding my ego in that, because I'm putting all my energy into basketball because I love the fake love. Like I love it. Like I used to love when the fake, like the fans be like, oh my God, whenever I make a nice move or whenever people want me to sign their jerseys and whenever I'm the player of the game, like I love that feeling. I love that feeling of empowerment. And when it's stripped away, it's like, yo, who are you? Like, who are you really without basketball? Who are you really without the fake love? Like, do you even really truly love yourself? Like, do you even know what you really like? So I was battling with those things at a young age without even knowing.
I've talked to a lot of players that are similar. Their like identity is wrapped up into who they are as a player. So then like you step onto the court, nothing has happened. You already have a shit ton of pressure on your shoulders because your whole ego, your identity is wrapped up in how you perform. So then, yeah, okay, you miss a couple shots. Then it becomes like, I'm a bad person instead of I'm a bad shooter or whatever it is, you know, like that's toxic. And I was the same way in that. And also you were saying like signing the jerseys and like the clout, bro, like, bro, I ate that up.
But that's how society, that's like social media is a big part of that.
I was hoping we would touch on that.
Bro, everybody's infatuated with the image that they can create on social media instead of the image and the idea of who they can actually be in real life. Like, people's obsessed with that. Like, yo, take my picture real quick. I'm finna sign a jersey. Act like I'm looking away. Like, we wanted that. We wanted, I told this to my friend, we wanted that God complex.
Yeah.
We wanted to be worship as we were God, but we're not God. You know, we want that feeling as if we're men amongst men. Like, we're the man. But it's like, you chasing that feeling. It's a never-ending feeling. It's an unsatisfying feeling because you will always be chasing it. So you have to truly, like, find yourself. So social media, bro, I got to a point where I just post and get off. Like, the videos I post and get off. Obviously, I catch myself scrolling, but you get so caught up in that and you create anxiety, and you also create depression because you're not where your peers are. Like, you may see people at 16 getting D1 offers, but in all actuality, bro, they only could go to one school. If
they wanted to commit today, you know,
they only could go to one school. So you comparing, like, you get in the world of comparing, but comparing is the thief of all joy. So social media, you got to learn to micromanage your time on there, because if you let it consume you, you're not being present where your 2 feet is. You're always looking for the next best thing. You're always looking for more clout. You're always looking for more likes. You're always looking for more followers. Like, you're always chasing, bro. Like, you're always chasing, and that was something that obviously I didn't know at that time. But, bro, I wanted to take pictures. I wanted all the comments, the likes. I wanted that fame, bro. But that feeling is really more negative than positive. And it's a big thing, and especially in the sports world.
So I'm interested to get your thoughts on this. This has come up a couple times on a couple other episodes, and it'll be cool to get your perspective because we both graduated the same year. So it's like the same timeline. So nowadays, any game, high school basketball game that you go to, there's 8-10 videographers on the sideline. There's like any video clip that you want of any bucket you could probably get, any picture. There's like 18 people taking pictures. Right. You got the content right after the game doing all this. I can't even imagine. I would be acting a fool, bro. I would be acting a fool. Because I remember, so we both graduated 2019. Yeah. From my perspective, that's when the middle school tournaments, AAU at Hazelwood Central, stuff like that, and Threat Hoops is coming, taking pictures. I'd be so excited that this dude's taking pictures, and man, I hope he posts this on Instagram. And I remember one game I got done and I saw he was there. And so then I get back home and I'm on my phone refreshing his page every 30 seconds. Like, oh, please, can you post it? Please post it.
Yeah, I get it.
So that, and then Rio, just lobs.
Yeah.
I feel like he was more or less on the come up as we were in high school. And now you got Sean West. Shout out to Sean. You got a lot of people that do a lot of great work.
Yeah.
I feel like we were kind of at the beginning of it.
Yeah, for sure.
More or less. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, I see we were totally at the beginning of it, because for me, bro, I'm not hitting nobody up if I don't feel like I'm good. Like, if I don't feel like I'm where I want to be with my game, I'm not texting nobody.
To come film?
To come film.
Okay.
And at that time, it wasn't a lot of people who filmed, so they're not just going to come to your game. Right, they want to go to who's going to be good. They want to go to the teams that's going to be a good matchup. Like Rio film, bro. He came to the game when it was a good matchup. Like, it wasn't like you hit him up and then it was like, yo, come up. Like, how these people got. It's all about accessibility, and all about the desire of wanting to be wanted. Like, with those pictures and all of that and those videos, like, you want the attention, you want the clout. Like how he said, but around that time, bro, we had the only person I remember is Tom, Ball is White.
Oh, yeah, Tom.
And Rio, like Live City. Them the only two I remember. But I think the amount of people we have right now that are, or the amount of kids that are hitting people up for pictures and videos, I think it's bad. Because you're more worried about how you look on the court than how you perform on the court.
Yeah.
So you hitting these people up, like, you got to remember, people didn't come out unless we were having a good game. Like, people are having these videos and these pictures, and there's like 10 people in the crowd. So it's like, you feel what I'm saying? Like I get it if you like, they just finding you. But like in today's world, everybody know where you are. So it's like, I just remember I was around like Jason and Mikey and Tyler and them, like, yo, they were good. People wanted to come see them. Like, people wanted to record them. So to have a video of like their highlights with hundreds of people in the background, that's the ideal. That's wanting to be better and be good. But people now, bro, it could be nobody in the crowd, and they can take pictures.
Yeah,
and they can ask for a video. Yo, pull up, come record me, bro. You playing the worst team. Like, so of course you gonna have 30. So
yeah,
like, bro, I just
cool pics, bro. But you're down 30.
Yeah, you down 30, bro. Like, you want some cool pics? How about you post the score?
I had shout out to Sam Briscoe, head coach at CBC. I had him on the pod. He was one of the first. I forget what episode, but maybe like the first 5. We were talking about like, it's a red flag if the first 30 seconds of your mixtape is you in layup lines, tying shoes, giving out high fives. We might be going the wrong direction. Yeah, but it goes back to something you touched on earlier, is like, or maybe you alluded to it, that we're good at, I think curating is the right word. We're able to make something look a certain way on social media.
Yeah.
And so then you were saying like, it's depressing comparing yourself to what other people are doing.
For sure.
It's not necessarily reality that we're comparing ourselves to, and that can get tricky.
No, people create their images on social media.
Because it's a brand, you know?
Literally. Like, before we even knew that it could be a brand, we were creating those images to make people think as if our brand was already up to par.
Yeah.
Like, we're posting the best pictures. We're posting the best part of the video. We're posting the best. Like, we're not posting everything for people to get the full perspective. And that's like, I mean, that's social media. You know, like, you create your own life. But everybody don't know that you like are struggling. They only see what they see on social media. So they're going to compare themselves. And that's just naturally what happened with social media. Like, everybody started comparing themselves. Everybody started wanting like this more. That's why so many more trends now. Like, so many more kids wear purple jeans and like ski masks and all that. I tell my little brother, I'm like, yo, like, find your own wave. Like, bro, we didn't do that back then. Like, find your own wave. Like, stop trying to fit in. Be who you are, you know? And it's tough, and it's hard to like gauge that thing now because social media has taken such a leap. So it's like so many people that's like growing up in this new generation, like it's tough. It's tough. It's going to be really hard for them to like step out of their comfort zone and really figure out who they are. It's going to be a lot of mental health issues indirectly without even knowing, because they're going to compare themselves to their peers, or they're going to compare their wants and desires to what everybody wants and desires are, instead of finding their true like desires. So it's gonna be tough for sure.
That's so fire, bro. That's like grounded hoops, being grounded. Like, that's what it represents. Is there's so many outside voices telling you who you should be, what thoughts you should think. And like you said, it's about just taking the time to tap in with yourself, being your own person, like finding out what you like. The music you listen to, the shows you watch, the purple jeans and ski mask, like, is that because you're trying to fit in or whatever? Like, you think it's cool, you think it's what you like? Because I was the same way in high school, like
same
music and whatever. It was like, I think I like this. But then once you get a couple years removed from it, looking back on it, it's like, oh, damn, it's not really my thing.
Didn't like it at all. It was just something that was hot right now.
Yeah.
That's how it really goes, bro. But bro, I'm a person who likes Seinfeld. Nobody would ever think that I like Seinfeld, the TV show. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's just like be who you are, bro. It's an amazing feeling. But I think people are scared of the work that it takes. Because it takes work to desensitize yourself. It takes work to relearn certain things that you've been taught in your life. And it's not easy. It's not easy looking yourself in the mirror and saying, hey, that's not you. Right? Who wants to correct themselves? Who wants to say that they're not perfect? All right, so looking in that mirror and saying, hey, this is not you, bro. This is not what you do. You just doing this because of that. Like, we don't want to hear ourselves say that.
Yeah.
Nor will we even want anybody else to say that to us. So I think it's just the hard conversations with ourselves and truly wanting to change our perspective that can really get us to, like, being the best versions of ourselves.
I was at the game, and I was sitting behind the team's bench. And I'm not exactly sure what happened, but the player checked out the game, sat down, and then I think the way the player responded to the coach's whatever he said, so then the coach came to him and he said, hey, be your own person, bro. I think that's so fly. I love that. Be your own person. But then it's tough, like, in life in general, everything we just spoke on is challenging. Yeah. Being your own person, not being a follower, tapping in, seeing what you like. But then I feel like as athletes, there's this added layer of difficulty because you're in a locker room, like we opened up talking about. You're with the guys for 2-3 hours every day. Like those are your guys, those are your people.
Yep.
So that's like a evolutionary. It's in our DNA to want to fit in with those people. So I think that adds another layer of difficulty.
Yeah, you want to fit in with your peers. You don't want to be looked at as the outsider. Like, no matter how different you may be, no matter how unique you are, like, you don't want to your peers, to the people you see every single day, you just want it to be like a smooth transition. You don't want it to be like you're the only person that just go out like this. It's like, not everybody will point the finger at you when, oh, actuality, that's great. That's great that you're the different one on the team, that you're not confined to being like everybody else in that locker room. You being different, once you get older, you'll understand how amazing that is because everybody is literally being the same. Everybody wants to be the same to fit in. And fitting it, like you said, it takes work. Like how you were saying, yeah, it does. It takes work to, find yourself, but it takes work to be just like everybody else. So the same work you putting in and trying to fit in, you can put into being your own person. Like it's harder to be like everybody else because you dumbing down the things that you like, to not step on anybody's toes, to look just like them, sound just like them, listen to what they listen to. Instead of being yourself, you know how easy it is to be yourself? Like, but we just don't want to be looked at as different. We want to fit in. We want to please everybody. We want to make sure, like, hey, man, nobody's pointing a finger at us. And those are like the best feelings because nobody like you.
I never thought about that. There's work to become like everybody else. There was some quote I heard, I don't know. It was like, it's hard to remember all the lies you told or something like that.
So that's a dope quote.
So then it's like, that's fire, bro. I never thought about that because it is like you trying to fit in with your teammates, like the music they like the shows, whatever it is. It almost becomes like a character that you're portraying. You're
creating somebody that's not you.
And then it takes work to like get into character or like remember what that character would say in this situation, right? In this conversation we're having,
exactly.
I never thought about that.
That's the reality. Like, just like to put it in perspective, just go like, you have a day out with your teammates, right? Let's just say you just left a game or practice or whatever. You're all laughing about the same thing, right? Something that you would take offense to, but you don't want to be the person that's like, yo, y'all tripping. Like, y'all need to chill. But when you get home, you can't stop thinking about how you just let yourself down because you wanted to fit in with something that you are totally against, whether it's whatever it may be. It could be about a pair of shoes or whatever. But you just like, they like, Key, what you think about that? Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. But then you get home, or as soon as you're done saying it, you're like, bro, I don't even know why I said that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just little things like that transform into something so like monumental, and you're creating this person that you have to unlearn and you have to remove from eventually when you get older.
Yeah. And then that would trickle onto the court, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That, because there's like a lack of, you're kind of breaking the trust in yourself when you're saying, oh, I agree with that, but you know you don't. In the locker room, just chopping it up. But then that probably translates over to the court, don't you think?
Yeah. I can speak for myself. When I was a little bit younger, before I even got to a point where I was like, let's just say my sophomore year, I did not shoot the ball, like at all in high school. I did not shoot the ball, probably averaged like 1.0 points, but I could have averaged more. But I was so infatuated with like wanting to please everybody or not wanting to be different or not wanting anybody to like, yo, like what you doing? I ain't shoot the ball. I overly pass it to everybody else. I overly do this. I'll just take defense. I'll take the back seat. Like, yeah, I want y'all to be, I want to agree with what y'all doing. I want y'all to, you got it. But it's like, yo, why are you dimming your light to shine somebody else's instead of just pouring into yourself? But just wanting to be a people pleaser. Like, and it trickled down. It trickled into the court, like you said, like agreeing with movies, agreeing with TV shows, agreeing with food, agreeing with like conversation about girls. Knowing I ain't at that point, bro. I don't know what I was like. I'm a kid, bro. So like, I'm just agreeing with stuff to look cool and to fit in. So now it's like I want them to keep like looking at me like, yo, he cool. So I'm gonna overly pass the ball. I don't trust myself no more because I'm lying to myself. So it's like, I'm gonna just give it to you. You got it. Cause you being yourself, I'm trying to fit in. So it's just so many different lanes that go into one that makes it bad, bro.
Yeah. I was very similar. I knew what shots I was able to take, to me, but then also like coaches and teammates and stuff, like they'd get on me if I was shooting crazy stuff. I probably didn't have the keys as much as you did. But yeah, I was very, very similar. Just the like anxiety for sure. Not wanting to mess up, looking good in front of my peers. It's tough, bro, because then to then go perform is the big thing. Yep. Like I could, like I said earlier, you're 15, 16. For me, there was always kind of just this background anxiety, just the brain's still kind of developing, like whatever. Okay. I could have that little background anxiety and like hold a conversation, I guess. But then like to go out on the court, fans in the stands, the lights, maybe there's a couple cameras, like it's tough to perform it's like 5-on-6. Yeah. 6th defender being your mind.
Yep. Your mind. Because I learned this just recently. I used to think working hard meant just like physically working hard.
Sweating,
like I'm in the gym 5 times a week, like I'm working out 2-3 times a day. When in all actuality, working hard is, you doing stuff in the gym, but how are you preparing your mind to be effective? Like, are you actually working on your mind, or are you just going on with the day? Are you like building your mind? Are you telling yourself you can do these things? Are you just performing and not actually like listening to certain things? Like your coach was saying, just like one thing in and one thing out. And you're like, yeah, man, I shoot 1,000 shots today. Yeah, but can you dissect the game? Like, can you actually see it in this light? Like when it's crunch time, can you put your pride aside? Right? That's something we can control. Can you put your pride aside and get the ball to the person that's been hot the last 5 minutes? And no matter how much work you didn't put in, we trying to win the game. And you just trying to win your ego. Like you want your ego to win. So it's like, I learned recently, like, yo, working hard didn't only have to do with just physically working hard. It's like a balance. You got to work your mind and you got to work your craft. But I just worked the court. I just worked the court. So I'm putting in all this work, but I ain't never putting no effort into my mind. When I get to BBE, I'm not going to perform. So now it's like, what are you doing? You're kind of wasting time. And you're kind of moving backwards. So it's like, why work out anymore? So it's like so many factors that could come with that. And I would say that's the most important thing now, specifically with so many different kids, like looking at social media and having these people come into the game. Like, don't just work on your craft physically. Like, go to a mental coach. Like, and go deal with some stuff that you're building trauma that you don't even know. Right? Go build with some things like that so you can move those things out the way so you can perform and be at ease on the court and see things in a different light.
Yeah, I remember as a player, I'd hear the quote or whatever that like the game's 80% mental.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, bro, whatever.
Facts.
I'm going to go shoot on the gun. Was there like a point? So like you've tapped in present day to the mental health, getting the mind right. You're on social media preaching about it. You're a public speaker, spreading the message, and you have enough perspective to like reflect on your playing career.
Yeah.
While you were playing, were you tapped into any of this? Did you have any like tools? Were you meditating? Would you do any of that while you were playing?
I would say my last year at Missouri Baptist and the semester I played at Maryville, my third game at Missouri Baptist, after I done emailed this coach, after sending out. I emailed Coach P. That's my guy.
He came on the pod. Shout out to Coach P.
Emailed him like, yo, I want to get back into school. Bro, I'm like 230. Like, can't even move for real. Worked out for me. He gave me a scholarship. A blessing. Right? And I was so still like, yo, basketball is my life. This is my life. This is me. After the third game of this next season, I cried and praying like, yo, God is telling me this is over.
Mm.
Like, you know how hard that is? Like, your whole life, your whole identity is just basketball. And once you submit yourself, like for me, it was Christ that helped me through this to get to where I am. So I submit myself to Christ, and he was like, this is not for you. Like, it's time for you to let it go. I need you to let it go so you can get into the next chapter of your life. So after that third game, that's when I tapped into it like, this is the end. So let's just embrace every aspect of it. And to be honest, the game got slower for me. Like, just that, and surrendering and knowing that this may be the end, so I want to be the best. Like, I'm playing through different type of injuries, so now I'm like, all right, so I ain't gonna make this move right here. I'm gonna just stay back and I'm gonna let my teammate make it. And then the next possession, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna pass it ahead. And then the next possession, whenever they think I'm just laying back, I'm gonna get another steal, and then I'm gonna lay it up. So like, after I did that, like, everything changed. And the big thing, like you said, was meditation. And people think meditation has to be like an hour, 30 minutes. Meditation could be 3 minutes. It could be a minute. It could just be a minute of dead silence. I did positive affirmations every single day. Like, I literally looked myself in the mirror and was like, you're great. You can do anything you put your mind to. Like, you're going to score this amount, right? Not like in the egotistic way. It's just like, yo, you can score this amount. You can have this many assists. You can push like my guy Lil P. You can push Lil P to be a better version of yourself. So like, speaking those affirmations and meditating and surrendering to my mind instead of my ego, I think that's what really got me to the point where it was like, yo, it's all mental. It's a mental game.
It's crazy because now that I'm training, I'm done playing, I'm a much better hooper.
Yeah.
Part of that is like just the pressure, like we talked about earlier, your identity isn't tied into you as a hooper. So there's a little bit of less pressure. But like you were saying, the game slows down a little bit and you're able to do some things. So after your third game of your first or second year at Mobap?
I only just played 1 year. I was there the year before. I was there like at the semester. So like, I got to the semester at January 2023. That's when I got there, and I didn't play that year because, like, obviously I came into semester, and then the next season, then that's when I played.
Okay, got you. So what happened that third game? Was there like a specific moment where you're like, okay, my time's done? Or why? What about the third game made that the time?
I just wasn't performing the first three. Like, we had a home game. I wasn't playing good, but like, I didn't fought back to get back on the court. I know I put in so much work. Like, what is it? Why am I was just so consumed and so infatuated with being great and being perfect without even knowing that you're not going to be perfect. So I was so infatuated with that I was like, God, tell me what it is. Like, if it ain't for me, just tell me, because I'm stressing, I'm panicking, I'm trying to find any type of resolution to perform. Like, in actuality, like, bro, it's just like your third game back. You haven't played in like almost 2 years. Like, you just got to relax. You go get good over the season. That's not how I was thinking. And I was like, you know what? It's questions we don't want to ask ourselves because we kind of know the answer to, or we're afraid to know the answer to.
Yeah.
It's hard to, when you want something or you've been doing something your whole life, to ask confirmation, is this really for me? Like, am I really supposed to be done with this? Like, this has been my life for 23 years. Is the time up? And to ask myself that, I cried because it was like, first off, you don't know. Like, you don't know what the answer is going to be. Like, so you got to really, like, get in the season of being separated from a lot of things. And, bro, nobody could ever tell me when I was in 8th grade that I would be in mental health or I wouldn't be a professional basketball player. Nobody could tell me that. So ask yourself that hard question. And first off, to be man enough to ask myself that, or to be bold enough, it was like, bro, I had to. Because, like, I'm stressing about basketball, a game. Like, I'm stressing about a game. Like, it's a privilege to play this. Like, it's, at the end of the day, you can make money from it, but it's just a game. It's not life or death. So I'm like, why am I stressing? Like, why I don't feel good whenever I'm on the court or I'm not doing good? I had to ask myself, and reality kicked in.
And so you referred to that earlier as like giving yourself to God.
Yeah.
And you said that's when the game slowed down a little bit. Was that because you felt like there was pressure lifted off your shoulders, or what went into that?
I would say when I surrendered to him, I was worshiping myself.
Bar. Right. That's a bar.
I was worshiping what I can do on the court. I was worshiping who I was. I was. All of the I's. I am doing it. Like, you're not God, bro. Like, surrender and let him guide you. And that was the hardest thing, because it's like, it's your life. So you want to make sure that, like, you're ordering your steps and making the right moves you want to make. You want to do things your way. You want to play this. You want to do that. Like, you. But it's like, bro, like, you're not God. And that was the hardest thing to accept. It was like, not the I'm not God part, but this, like, I have no control over my life. Like, I want it this way. And it's like, that's not how it's probably going to be. That's probably not for you. You're probably living somebody else's dream, and you're trying to attach yourself to their dream, right? So, like, without me knowing, basketball wasn't truly my dream. It was just something that I saw everybody else doing. The only way I knew I could get out of, like, and be successful. It was like, guys, like, I got something different planned for you. You go shake up the world. Like, I got something so unique, so you. Like, I got something, I just need you to surrender. I'm like, no. I'm like, no, what you talking about? I'm gonna do it my way. So, like, I just finally was like, you have control of my life, because I keep trying to do it my way and I keep struggling. I'm in the same place. Like, my same 2 feet is in the same place. Like, I'm in quicksand. Like, I'm not going nowhere trying to do it my way. So once I surrendered, I was like, do it your way. Like, you're all knowing, you're almighty. And then my life just, like, changed, like, for the better. So Yeah, it's just like, bro, you gotta get to a point where you gotta understand that you have no control of your life. Not in the bad sense, but it's just like things may not go your way the way you want it to. Like you may not go straight to that goal. You may go here and there and this there. Like my favorite thing to say is like people want something but don't want to go through the journey to get to it. Not knowing the journey is the true want. Like you want to experience something so you could push it back into the world. Yo, I went through this, I went through that. I see this in this perspective. Because once you get to the end goal, it's like, yo, all right, what else? Right? So that journey that you're going through to get there is the most important thing.
All right. Fucking heat, bro. Heat. So 2 things with that. Let's hope I remember them. So 1, what you just said, the journey. Mm-hmm. Appreciating the journey, appreciating the work. Work, I heard the term work is worship. And I love that.
That's fire.
The way I think about that, or about the journey versus the destination, is like, so you work towards something. Let's say it's money. I want to make $80,000 in a year. Okay, cool. Work, do the steps necessary to do that, and then that takes you the year. And then on December 31st, whatever it is, okay, cool. You accomplish the goal, 80,000. Keep on doing that for a couple of years, 80,000, 80,000, 80,000. Then, like you said, or like you alluded to, so that kind of just becomes your baseline. Mm-hmm. At first, it was like, oh, I reached 80. Mm-hmm. Man, this is awesome. All the things that can get me. But then after 3, 4, 5 years, that just becomes normal for you. Mm-hmm. You become, a word you used earlier was desensitized. Mm-hmm. You become desensitized to it. So then it's like, okay, let's go on another journey, 150, whatever it is. And it just keeps on going. So to your point, like appreciating the journey.
Yeah.
Working for the sake of working. To me, I look at it as like shining God's light through me, essentially.
Yeah.
Work, like loving the work.
Yeah. Love it because the work is not just for you. Like that's like that's where it's like you're worshiping yourself. The work is not just for you. The amount of lives you can possibly touch in pursuing what you're pursuing. Like you can help them get to, like that. Everybody talk about leaving a legacy. That's a legacy. You can't take money. Like you literally can't take money with you. You can't take these properties with you. You can't take materialistic things with you when you go down. It's like, but you can push your mindset. You can push somebody into a better light. And they can be like, yo, man, Keyyaun, like, man, when I was in my darkest days, he really gave me like some type of energy and like made me like who I am today. And I thank him for that. He pushed me. Like that is the importance of the journey, because the amount of lives you can touch, bro, like forget the money, forget anything that you can, a life, like an actual like life, somebody's actual life, you can actually help somebody get to where they want to be in life. And it's all because of what you say to them, it's all because of how you treat them. So it's like the work is not just for you. Yeah, you're going through the work and we're gonna teach you to manage the things you're going to get when you get to that end goal. But also, when you manage those things, can you bring somebody up with you? Can you help this person? Like, can you leave a true legacy? And that is like, it's so many people that I done spoke to, or like, just like, not no camera, no nothing, just spoke to them like, yo, like, bro, you got this, you're dope, like, you could do this. And they still hit me like, yo, bro, I appreciate it. Like, that's a great feeling. Like, forget 30 points. I had 30 points before. Like, that's a great feeling. But to touch somebody's life and tap into their mental for them to be the best version of themselves is amazing, bro. And it all came from me just going through the journey and enjoying the work.
And then you end up causing this ripple effect. Like, you're talking to someone one-on-one behind a camera, like you said, giving them game, sharing your mindset. Yeah. And then you build them up. And so then they go throughout their day. They stop at the store on the way home, talk to the cashier, brighten their day, and then they go brighten someone else's day. And that, like, it starts with you.
Yeah. Like, bro. And none of this would be possible if I don't see as God sees, I don't allow him to order my steps. I continue to try to do it my way. Because if you're doing it your way, you don't want to help nobody. Simple. You don't want to help nobody because you want to get to where you want to get. You only focus on yourself. Like, it's like, no, I gotta do this. I don't want to help you because you might get there before I get there. Like that's where the selfish and the ego and the pride come into play. Right? Like, some people back then, like, they wouldn't let you work. I didn't want nobody to see my workout. Cause I'm like, yo, this is mine.
Interesting.
Don't come see my workout. I don't want you to even work out with me because this is how I'm getting good. Me. Instead of like, yo, come on, work out. Bro, I'm making a team better if everybody working out with me. But I just want to be the star. I want to do this. I want the praise and the worship. So those things is basically to say all that to say the real joy is leaving a legacy through other people's lives, and them leaving legacies to other people's lives, and them like that. That's the real like joy. That's the real objective for me for my life.
Yeah. That was the other thing that you mentioned that I want to talk about more is like, we're on God's time. It's God's plan. Us as humans, we have our view of the world with our head brain. And so our head brain is a collection of meditate for 10 minutes and you'll see how random it is. Like, I'll sit down and think about something I saw on Twitter 10 years ago and like what I had for lunch yesterday, just like random shit. So we have these collections of experiences, stories, stuff we saw on Twitter, stuff our parents said to us when we were kids. And that's the lens we look at life through. And then you mentioned the ego. We think, oh, I know everything. Yeah. This is how the world works. Yeah. This is what I need to do to accomplish this goal. This is the goal that makes the most sense for me. This is the vehicle or the avenue, the road to get there. But then the way I look at it is God is like a bird's eye view of everything. Yes. He'll cook up a way to get to a goal. Like, you'd be like, damn, that shit just fell into my lap.
I've never seen this happen before in my life. Like,
you know? Yeah.
That's
for
how
real.
Amazing he is, bro. Like, one of the things that was tough for me, but that I learned is that you have to unlearn what you were taught. And I didn't get mad at the people who taught me those things because that's what they knew. So I don't get mad at you teaching me this. I actually am grateful that you're teaching me the things that you that you were taught. But whenever you're called or whenever God is trying to ordain your life, like, you gotta take a step back and stop trying to see it from everybody else's point of view or your own point of view. You gotta allow him to work a different point of view and different perspective in your mind. And you have to go away and figure it out. Like, because the stuff people are teaching, the stuff people have taught you, or what the world has taught you, is worldly. God is on a different level, bro. So you got to take a back seat and allow him to be him and allow him to work through you. Because what he has for you and what he has for me is two totally different things, but it could align in the same way, bro. Like, we could go to different lanes. You could do this, you could do that, and then equal to the same like outcome, just in different ways for us. So it's just all about perspective. Literally all about perspective.
You had mentioned people giving you advice. And that's something I've, I guess, gotten better at over the years, is like, growing up, someone would give me advice and I thought they were like from another dimension telling me my fortune. Yeah. This is okay. You're telling me this. I need to go do this. As I've gotten older, like we've touched on a couple of times, I've been able to like tap in with myself. And now I'm more likely to take people's advice with a grain of salt. Say, okay, this is their perspective. Does that resonate with me? I'll learn from anybody, anything, like lifelong learner. Absolutely. But I'm less likely to just blindly take someone's advice.
Yeah. Especially like family members. You know, at first, like, yo, we're eating your words up. Like, whatever you say, like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah. But, like, they're only speaking from their perspective of life or what they went through. Now, how I look at life now is totally different than what any of them could see or could say. And on my end, it's like, I appreciate it because you really tried to give, like, you really gave me all that you had. It may not have been what was for me at that time, like, or now. It may not have been, like, affect me the way it should have or what you thought it would have. But, like, bro, I appreciate it because some people won't even give you advice. Some people give you the wrong advice, all the way the wrong, not something that they were taught, but they would give you something that would bring you so backwards so they could go forward. Like, they feel as you competition, so they like, yo. And it could be family members. Some people even older than you. Like, they just see your potential before you can actually see it, so they go tell you the wrong thing. And then you're like, all right. And this is where being naive come. You're like, all right, yeah, whatever you say. You go 10 steps back while they like, all right, he back. All right, cool, I can go forward.
Yeah.
Right? But it's just like, most importantly, you get to that point by first, like, learning yourself, bro. Like, you really have to take the time to understand who you are, understand, like, I be meeting people, they be 40 years old, I be like, what do you like? I'm like, what you mean? I'm like, what do you like to do? Well, you know, I like to go out and party. I'm like, no. For you, what do you like to do? Do you like to read? Do you know who you are? Like, do you know what you like, really like to do? Do you know what you do on the daily that is getting you to where you want to be? What do you mean? And I'm like, yo, you know, I'm like, what you mean? You don't know what you like. And like, it get to that point where people like younger than me, older than me, don't know what they want to do or don't know who they are. So it's like life can, like, it has no age, it has no limit. So like, you can affect this many people, and those perspectives that we were talking about can be changed no matter who it is. So like, I'm just learning that it is a blessing to understand who you are and learn yourself a little bit earlier, because some people don't even take the time out to learn themselves. They just go on with the flow of life. Like the lazy river. Remember the lazy river? People just flow. Like the water, like the lazy river is life. And you're sitting on that tube and you're just allowing life to push you any type of way. Instead of like, yo, let me put my 2 feet down and figure out where I want to go. Like, what do I really want to do? So, yeah. Those are important.
That's a good analogy. Because then you've brought up a couple times, like, people not wanting, I forget how you phrased it. People, like, not wanting to hear criticism, but wanting confirmation.
Yeah, like, people don't want to hear correction. They want confirmation.
That's it. Okay.
Like, don't nobody want to hear, like, yo, you're doing this wrong. You feel as if it's an attack. Like, yo, why are you attacking me? I came to you with something that I find sacred, and I feel as if you're attacking me. But it's like, no, like, I see it from this point of view. You only see it from this point of view because it's what you want. So you only see it as being great no matter how it comes. But it's like, yo, I see it from this point of view. Like, somebody who could be, let's say, like, for my glasses, somebody could be like in a fashion industry, like, yo, you could do this to do that. I could be so like headstrong, like, no, I want to, like, I came for you for confirmation. I ain't come for you to correct me. Like,
yeah.
But they've been in the fashion world for years and years and years, and they still there, you know. And I'm just starting, so it's like you gotta be open to correction, and you have to be eager to learn and be better. That's the only reason you could be open to correction, because you want to be the best version of yourself. Because everybody, no matter how wrong their advice is, no matter how young, no matter how old, you can learn from somebody. No matter what it is, you can learn what not to do, and you can learn what to do from somebody. So, just got to experience, like, the fruits of being corrected. Like, it's very fruitful.
Yeah, because that's the downfall of a lot of people, is their circle is just a bunch of yes men.
Yes.
Then ego gets in the way. You can't tell them no.
Yes.
That's the downfall of a lot of people.
That's horrible. And who wants friends like that? You would stay stagnant in your life. I want friends who are going to tell me when I'm wrong, tell me when I'm slipping, because I want to be the best version of myself. I want to reach my height. Like, and there's no ceiling for how far I can go. So if my friends see I'm slipping, I need you to tell me. Because if I'm slipping, that means we all slipping. Right? So if all y'all telling me yes, then it's like, bro, y'all just here like for the ride. Y'all just like, so if I fall, y'all gonna be gone. Y'all not even gonna be here. So I want people who will be like, maybe you should do it this way, Key. Like, just try it. Or maybe, like, don't do it that way. Probably, like, see it from this point of view. This is my point of view. I want you to see it from this. Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying. It could be better like that. You know what? I'm going to do that. Yeah. Instead of saying, yo, y'all think this right? They don't know. They're like, yeah. Like, come on, bro. We go be in the same place for forever. So.
Right. So, St. Louis Christian, 3 months there. And then we go the JUCO route. Yeah. Mineral area. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Tony Irons holding it down. Yeah, this is first year here.
That's fire.
Who was your coach there?
Luke Strecky.
Okay. Not familiar. Yeah. But, so 1 year there?
Two.
Yep. And then how was that experience? The JUCO, there's like the stereotype of everyone wants to get their numbers, you know, ball hogging kind of. Yeah. What was your experience like?
My experience was actually pretty good. Like, we stayed in apartments, wasn't dorms. Like, I had my own apartment and got food. We even got stipends on the weekend. Like, but it was my first time being away from home. Like, I'm only like an hour and a half, but it's my first time being by myself. I enjoyed JUCO, and it had nothing to do with just basketball. It was just like the people I met, because Mineral was just like a small community. It had everything to do with the people I met and the amount of freedom that I had. So JUCO wasn't tough for me. Like, it wasn't tough on the court, wasn't tough with my teammates. Like, bro, we were all cool. Maybe it's like one or two people that, like, you know, but that's like with every team. But I still was getting highly recruited with averaging like 12 and like 5. You know, like I was still fine, because basketball is basketball. People see like potential in people, right? These D1 coaches know that people just trying to eat in JUCO and get out. So I didn't really have like a bad experience besides the breaking the leg my second year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the end of my first semester, I was playing with like a stress fracture in my shin and my tibia bone. So like it was like a little bump, right, in my shin, and it's crazy. I would use metal scissors, like the handles, and scrape the bump down to make my leg like straight. This is how like obsessed I was with like basketball, no lie.
Like on top of your skin, you would take the handle of metal scissors, and you, by like rubbing it, you could smooth it out.
Scrape it, yep.
And it was a bone.
It was a bone. Yeah.
And you could just rub it, and then it would like go back to even.
Bro, it was painful.
That sounds extremely painful.
It was painful. So I'm rubbing it pretty much like every day, or before like every 2 days, like, because I really can't run or jump. Like, my bone is really tearing apart. So I kept doing that, and I kept weakening it. And then in the summer, that was when COVID happened. I just went crazy working out in the summer. Like, I worked out like 3 times a day, didn't go out, didn't do nothing. I just worked out so crazy, bro. And I worked out so crazy, and I'm putting more and more and more and more wear and tear on my shin. I'm not resting. So I come back the next year, headed into school. I get all these schools calling me. I'm like, yeah, man, what? I'm not sitting out. Why would I sit out? Like, these schools they want me. This is all I ever wanted. And it wasn't even a practice, bro. It was like we was playing King of the Hill. And I went up to try to do an inside layup, and it just snapped. Like, I didn't cry, I didn't get mad, I just laughed, bro.
You laughed?
I laughed.
With your broken leg?
Yeah, bro. I was like, bro, there's no way. I didn't went this hard. There's no way I just broke my leg, bro. And it snapped, bro. It went like this.
Damn.
So it's definitely been a journey.
Dude. So that was where are we at on the timeline? That's
sophomore
like
year of college.
during the season.
No, literally right before we start like practice.
Okay.
Like 2-3 weeks before we start practice.
So then you sat out the whole year.
Sat out the whole year.
And then went to Lindenwood?
Went to Lindenwood.
Okay.
Shouldn't have did that. Should have stayed in JUCO one more time. Should have stayed. But once again, like the ego and the pride thing. It's like, bro, I'm not staying in JUCO one more year. Like, I'm finna call a coach. I'm like, yo, do you want me? And if they say, yeah, I'm going. So, I'm like, bro, I don't want to stay in JUCO. Like, I done did what I did the first year. Every coach that I wanted or every nice school that I wanted is calling me. Bro, I'm leaving. Like, there's nothing else for me left in JUCO. Instead of me thinking like, yo, why don't you take this next year, get healthy, get back skinny, and get back acclimated with basketball. I'm like, nah, I don't need to do that. I'm ready to go pro. So in order for me to really go pro, I got to go to a school. So I went to Lindenwood D1, was still with a broken leg, bro. Like I wasn't even fully healed, nor was I fully in shape. And hats off to Coach Gerdeman. He trusted me. And I let him down. And it was tough, bro. That was a tough year. That was when depression and all the trauma, that's when everything just flooded. It just flooded because I rushed everything because I wanted this at this point of time. Like I wanted this in this timeline instead of just like surrendering, bro. So that year, after 2020 to 2021, I went to Lindenwood, 21 to 2022, was depressing, bro. Like, it was crazy.
And it sounds like the reason for that was like a bunch of different stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, kind of reached a point where you worked super hard to come back from a broken leg, but you're not all the way back. And this is everything you've worked for, but you're still not ready. Mm-hmm. And then like 2 or 3 other things that kind of, that point to me kind of feels like the straw that broke the camel's back, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that the way you see it?
Yeah, bro. Like, bro, I was so eager. I was rushing the process. I was like, bro, forget the journey. I've been through so much already. Like, I don't need to wait no more. Like, I was trying to go overseas my freshman year. I'm like, bro, I don't want to like play college, man. Like, my goal was never to play college basketball. My goal was to be a professional. So, like, as I'm going through the journey and going through college basketball, I'm like, yo, I just got to do this. So, I'm not even enjoying college. Like, I'm not enjoying the people. Like, yeah, it was great seeing them. I laugh and all of that, but I'm not enjoying them. I'm not being present. I'm just trying to get to the next stop. Like, I'm just, I just got to be here. Instead of being present and enjoying it. And then later on, you get to a point like, yo, I actually miss it. I actually miss JUCO. Like, and that's the craziest thing to say. I miss JUCO. JUCO was the best time of my life. Like, as far as like school-wise, JUCO was, bro. So, rusting the process, trying to live up to what you tell everybody. Like,
that's a big one.
I'm like, yo, I'm going to be a pro. I'm going to be a pro in 2 years. All right, bet. I'm like, bet. I'm like, I'm going to be a pro. I go, break a leg. So what you finna do? You know, so it was a lot of obstacles. Had nothing to do with really physical, but everything to do with mental. That I jumped over and then went back to like 2 hurdles. You know, like I went forward. Like, you know, the take a step forward, take 2 steps back. That, like, I did that a lot in college as well as high school. So
then Lindenwood, do you end up playing the whole year, but you're at like 50%?
Bro, I'm like 25 to be honest. I can't even really run or jump. I'm only playing I only played probably like 5 or 6 games the whole season, and it was only like 2 minutes each game. So like I rushed the process to do nothing. Yeah, I didn't really play at Lindenwood.
Okay. And then the season gets done, and was it kind of just this like unspoken understanding that you're moving on next year?
Yeah, like when I went to my meeting with Coach G, he was like, "Yo, I'm bringing in some guards, so like you gotta work." I'm like, "Yeah, I hear you, I hear you." Then I entered the portal. I entered the portal. I'm like, bro, it was hell being here. I'm not gonna be here again.
Okay.
So I'm just, once again, it was a pattern running away from my problems instead of confronting the obstacle at hand. So I go down to Xavier, Louisiana. I take a flight. I'm like, yo, I'm coming down there. I try out. They're like, yo, we got you, but it's not a full ride, and that's all I know. I'm like, they gave me like a partial. I'm like, yeah, I'll get back to you. Then I was like, bro, I'm not going there. And you know what? I was like, you know what? What you really want to do is what you're about to do. I'm finna take a break. Like, I'm not finna play basketball. I'm not even finna look at a basketball. I'm finna just work. I'm finna work and just live and figure my life out. Figure out who I am. So after that, I was like, bro, I'm done. I really wanted to be done, like, with basketball forever at that point. I wound up coming back, obviously, but after that, yeah, I was like, yo, I need a break. So I took a break.
I was in a very similar position. My love for the game had kind of faded. I wasn't really into it as much. It was a blessing for me that when I was at that point was headed into my sophomore year of college, which was 2020, when shit hit the fan. So they sent us home, and there was kind of this like, are we going to have a season? Are we not? How's it going to work? Oh, we got to wear a mask during games. That's ass.
Facts. Can't breathe.
Yeah, right. And so that's when I that's when I stopped playing. And so for me, it was a very smooth transition. I kind of, you've seen that meme? It's of Homer Simpson and he's like backing up into a bush. It's like that. That's how it was retiring for me. For you, I would imagine it's less of that because there's somewhat of like a timetable or a time pressure to kind of get things figured out and find your next move.
Yeah. And I commend you for even loving the game. Like you said, you like love the game. For me, I only love what it could do for me. I didn't love the game. Like I didn't really love every aspect about basketball. I just love, like I said before, the praise. I love shooting the ball and hearing the net go. Like I love that. Like I love what basketball could do for me. Never really loved the game. But to speak to what you just said, like, bro, the hardest thing was like just removing from it. Like, and I still wanted to like be professional because that was all I knew. But to be honest, the transition to stopping basketball was more easy than I thought as well. Because after I stopped, I started like the Funk podcast. And that was what I really wanted to do. I really just wanted to talk, and as we're doing now, and help somebody and say motivational things and just open with my mind. I really always wanted that. But playing basketball, it's like, yo, we know you as Keyyaun, the basketball player. We don't know you as this. So keep this separate, and we're going to keep you at being a basketball player, right? Being afraid of what people are going to think of me, or even if it was going to be good to collide. So I was like, yo, I can finally just be who I always wanted to be. I was like, yo, and that is like talking and expanding my mind and not just playing basketball. Like, yo, because in 8th grade, that's when I learned about Eric Thomas.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude.
Great guy.
Like, oh my God.
I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah, for real.
Like 8th grade, I learned about Eric Thomas at like 2 a.m. And I was watching, it was a LeBron and KD workout, and he was saying, how bad do you want it?
You gotta succeed as bad as you want to breathe.
That one, bro.
I had that on repeat, and like 6th, 7th grade.
I'm watching that 2 a.m. to give me motivation. I'm like, yo, who is that keeps saying this? Like, who is that? So I click it, and I actually go to the video where he was saying that. I'm like, bro, this is what I want to do. Like, this is, why do I feel this, like, the hairs on the back of my neck is standing up, and it's like, I can't get this out of my mind. I feel like a connection to what he's saying, not just what he's saying or what he's doing, to who he's doing it to. And it was just people like a little bit younger than him. Like, I'm like, yo, like, bro, that's all I really been wanting to do. So, like, whenever I got the chance to in 2022, I was like, I was like, I'm going to do it. But I did it so short and stopped because I was like, it's uncomfortable. Like, I've never really been uncomfortable. Or when I am uncomfortable, I revert to being comfortable. Because to grow, you have to be uncomfortable.
Got to.
You have to understand that being uncomfortable and being vulnerable is the only way you can succeed, in my eyes. Like, if you're comfortable, if you stand in your comfort zone, you will never get farther than where you are. You will always revert back to the comfortable spot. And for me, it was basketball. So I was like, yo, life is getting a little too hard. Like, adulting is kicking my, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm going to go hoop. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to go hoop. And then there was also people who was like, yo, you should hoop. You should go back to hoop. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You know, people pleasing again, but I don't blame them. You know, it's on me. Because I actually wanted to go back to hoop because I wanted to be comfortable again. So it was kind of a seamless transition to stop at first.
Monty Williams, when he was coaching the Suns, he had a quote talking about like, everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of hard. And that stuck with me for sure. So you started adulting and then wanted to, like, go back to the comfort of hooping.
Go back to being a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when you worked out with Coach P, or how did that go?
Yep. So I was like, yo, I want to go back to school. I'm like, somebody was like, yo, email the coaches around the state. Like, just do that. Or around the area. I was like, smart. But it was also, like, humbling because I'm like, I've never really had to or been the one to be like, yo, I'm trying to come there. It's always been like, yo, Keyyaun, come here. Like, come on, we want you to come to our school. So it was like a very humbling moment for me, to be honest. But I just emailed a lot of coaches. I was like, hey, this is my stats for college from JUCO. I'm going to play at Lindenwood. Yada, yada, yada. I would love to come work out. If you allow me to, I could come work out, and then we could go from there. I'll even pay for school. Like, I just want to get back in school. At that point, I'm all the way vulnerable and accepting whatever. Coach P was the only person who replied back so fast. It was like, yo, come in and work out. Everybody else was like, some didn't reply, or some was giving me the runaround, or some was like, yo, fill out a form to play, or all of this. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. But Coach P was like, yo, come and work out. So I was like, all right, cool. So I came and worked out. He was like, I'm going to offer you. I was like, oh, God, what? I was like, bro, God, thank you. like a full ride from sitting out for so long. I'm not even in the best of shape. I'm huffing and puffing, just shooting one dribble, pull up mid-ranges. I'm like, bro, thank you, God. Like, thank you. And I went to their practice, like, as often as I could, bro. Like, it was during, like, winter break. So I would go to their practices and just sit. I would just sit and watch them. And I would just sit, talk to because I knew Sam, I knew Jadis.
Shout out to Sam.
Yeah, Sam, that's my doggy.
Yeah.
Sam, Jadis, KD, Christian Davis. I knew all of them, so I was.
Did you play with Ray?
No.
Okay.
I think Ray stopped at that point.
Got you.
So I'm just watching them. I'm like, yo, thank you. Like, I'm having an attitude of gratitude because I am grateful to be back comfortable. Like, it's crazy. I'm grateful to be back comfortable again. So, yeah, Coach P was like, yo, just come on, man. And then he gave me a full ride, and I just went full-fledged and working out and being obsessed with being the best version of myself because I wanted to go pro that next year. So, shouts out to Coach P.
Shout out to Coach P, man. Great guy.
Great guy.
Thick-ass playbook.
Yeah, for sure.
Was that a struggle for you?
Sure. I mean, when he's, like, saying it, I'm like, yo, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you telling me to cut here, go there? Nah, but show me. Like, I'm a visual learner.
Gotcha.
Show me.
Yeah.
And I'm the person, like, if I do it 2-3 times, got it.
Same.
I just need to see it. All right, cool. You did it that way. Okay. If I'm this person, I go there. If I'm over, okay, cool, got it. So I'm there. So, like, all them plays, like, obviously you mess up sometimes. But for the most part, nah, I mean, it wasn't really a problem. Because, like, he wanted us to run. He wanted us to go play defense and go score. So, I'm cool with defense. Defense was the best thing for me. I say defense is the reason I was so good at offense. Because I, like, knew how people would move and the movements and dictate certain things. So I was like, bro, I just get a steal and I just go score. So I used to do that a lot so we wouldn't have to run plays. But, yeah.
That's a good point. Like, you get good on offense because on defense, you're able to lock in on the moves they're making and the way they shift their weight. 100%. So winter break is when you try out, I think. You're going to the practices, and then so that summer you guys are doing like workouts as a team and prepping for the season. Were there things that were different about that experience than others? Because it sounds like at that point in your life, like you said, you were vulnerable, like you were being put in a position of asking to play, like, which is something you hadn't experienced before. Was there like a shift in mindset at that point?
Yeah, that was when, right before I got to that school, that was when I fully like surrendered to Christ. And I was like, yo, my life is to you. Like, teach me, walk me through it. So my mindset is altering as I am attending this school. And it's amazing because they have chapel.
I was about to say, they're pretty religious, aren't they?
Yeah, school's pretty religious. So they got chapel. I'm like, yo, I need that. Like, I'm super fresh. I need it. And it was so great for me. And it opened so many doors for me mentally. Because I'm like, yo, I see it in this light. I can see it. You know, I can see so many different things and different avenues. So my mindset then was like, I was still headstrong on basketball, but my mind, as far as opening up in perspective, was different. That's when it really changed to who I am, like very unique and very like perspective driven as far as looking at it in a different light. But being on the court with them, Coach P will tell you, like, Kobe's my favorite player. Again, I'll say that again. So I didn't talk on the court to begin with. Like, I didn't talk to none of my teammates. I didn't talk to the coaches. I had a stone face like this every single day. I was so locked in, bro. So locked in. Not knowing that being like overly locked in is going to hurt you. Like, you got to relax. You got to relax. Because, like, if you so, like, do it this way, like, first off, you going to make your teammates look at you like, yo, you don't want to be here. You just want to do this and get going. Like, how can we be a rapport with you? How can we have, like, team chemistry with you? You ain't even talking to us. Like, you're not looking at us. You just demanding things from us. That's where I was. I was just so focused on, like, I don't even want to, not that I didn't want to be there. I've never thought I was going to be an NAIA player. And I'm like, yo, I'm here. I'm going to just get this year, get done, and I'm going to go pro. So, like, that was my focus. And so when I was on the court, to begin with, I didn't speak. I didn't speak to nobody. So, yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Like, before practice, like, not at all?
Not at all. Like, before practice, I wouldn't even see them for real. Like, maybe if I had a class with them, like, I wouldn't see them. I would, like, we go in the locker room, what's up? Like, I'm going to my locker, I'm going straight to the gym. Like, let's get this work in. Like, this is a job.
I would have thought you were an asshole for sure.
Yeah, they did.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And what was your role? Like a point guard, orchestrating everything?
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, I was point guard, and then he wanted me to score more, so I went to shooting guard / small forward, whatever you want to call it. I played 1 through the 3, but I got the ball in my hand at the beginning. I'm dictating stuff, and I'm not communicating with my team.
Yeah, that's a tough combo.
Bro, horrible. It was bad, bro. And at the beginning, everybody was like, yo, like, we don't know what you be on. Like, you don't talk to nobody. You stay in your own world without them even knowing. Like, I'm fighting my battles and I'm creating this new person. Like, I'm creating who I always desired to be. And I'm throwing away everything that I created negatively. Like how we talked about creating an image to fit in. I'm throwing that away. I got to reinvent myself and be who I am. So I'm fighting that battle. With also like, yo, why am I here? With also like, yo, I don't even want to be here. With also like, yo, I'm trying to be a pro. With also like, yo, I just submitted to God. So it's like I'm battling so many different things that I didn't know how to open up to them and be a good teammate at that time. Like at the first 2 months in, I didn't know how.
Yeah, because there's just a lot going on.
Yes.
So it's tough to. Would you say there's any differences with NAIA basketball than JUCO, than Lindenwood? Like play style, anything?
We play more like a professional team, though. Like I would say that's the only team we play like more professionally. It was a lot of pick and rolls, a lot of ISOs, a lot of pick and roll and ISOs. This was the first time with a team I've ever really did that. I would say the only difference though, for real, I don't really think there's really a difference, cause it's still it's some cold people in there. Like I never would have thought. The only thing different is like their defense is compact. Like they're sitting in the lane, bro. Like they're not like at Lindenwood and at JUCO, people are guarding you. Like people are spread it out. They're guarding you. In the eye, we'll let you shoot. We want you to shoot. We just don't want you to get to the basket. So it was hard to get to the rim. So the defense was a little confined. And obviously it's not like 6'7", 6'8" for real.
That's a trend now, isn't it?
Yeah.
6'7".
Yeah. But at first it like wasn't a lot of people, bro. A lot of people that was tall. It was like people my height or shorter. And them the only differences though.
So 1 year at MOBAP, and then take me through the process of how you end up at Maryville.
Coach B got the job.
Yes, sir.
Coach B got the job, and at the end of the year,
hey, Key, come on.
But like, what I didn't know is how he knew I was gonna quit after that year. I didn't know he knew that. I don't know how anybody knew that because I didn't tell nobody.
He knew you were going to.
Yeah, like towards the end of the season
of your MOBAP year.
A MOBAP year, that's when I came to terms. Like I was like, you know what, it's not for me. I'm gonna stick it out, and I'm gonna go extremely hard. I want to end on top. Obviously, it didn't work like that, but like he was like, I remember the end when we played CBC. We was in the locker room. He was like, "Hey, me and you, we go talk, because I know you talking about you trying to end it, but we go talk." I'm like, damn, man, how you know that? Because I was like, is either I'm gonna end it or I'm gonna transfer and go higher. And it's like I was still battling like, am I really gonna finish or am I just gonna transfer and go somewhere higher, right? And he wound up getting the Maryville job, and he was like, "Yo, I know you was trying to go higher, so would you like come on?" I was like, "All right, all right." Knowing that I wouldn't say I shouldn't have, but knowing that I wasn't fully immersed and still being a basketball player at that time, I probably should just stop. I probably shouldn't have went to Maryville, but I met so many different people, like teammates, like I would say the overall best teammates I've ever had, by far, bro. Everybody was just a light. Everybody was happy. Everybody was upbeat. No matter what, like I'm like, bro. And everybody like gave me like, yo, Keyyaun, yo, you could do this. Not like in a bad way, but just like, yo, like, Keyyaun, you got your glasses. We want to support. I'm like, what? I ain't never heard no teammates say they want to support me with my, like, I'm like, bro, that's dope. And then they got stuff. I'm like, yo, I want to support. Like, I don't need nothing. Like, and it was just like that. It was like genuine. Like a whole lot of generosity in that locker room. And like, I love those guys. I will forever talk to them.
That's interesting. Because you said, talking about your playing career, that you wanted to end up on top, but that it didn't work out that way. I would argue that's exactly how it worked out. Because earlier we were talking about, I agree with that when you know damn well you don't. And like wanting to be this person, but then basketball Keyyaun needs to be this person. To me, that sounds like the top of the mountain. When you're at Maryville, guys are supporting your glasses, like doing the off the court stuff and being like, it feels like a perfect combination. It was
an amazing bond. We just call each other randomly now. Everybody obviously got their own lives, but they call me like, yo, Key, we miss you, man. Like, come on. Like, I come up to the school and surprise, I'm like, yo, Key, like, bro, and it's like genuine and it's like real happiness. Like for us to be around each other, I'm really like happy to be with them. Like they give me joy. I give them joy. And I've never had a team like that or teammates like that. No matter how the season was or how it was when I left at the semester, bro, we straight loved each other. Like we straight kicked it. We straight did like, bro, I wouldn't, to say all that, I wouldn't trade it for nothing. Like I'm glad I did that semester because I wouldn't have met them guys. Like them people I would talk to for the rest of my life, for sure.
And that's everything, bro. Like, that means that's so valuable to have those people. So then semester hits and is it just time to transition to other things? Is that what happens?
Yeah. Before the season even started, I was talking to my family member like, yo, I think it's time to put it down. Cause I'm not working out as much anymore. I don't even want to go to the gym no more. I'm only really going because of my teammates. Like I want to be the best version of myself for them. So when I do go to the court, I'm working extremely hard. But it's like, bro, I feel it like I ain't got the job no more. I know the thing is why we continue to do certain things, knowing that we really don't want to do it, is because we don't know exactly what we want to do in life. Like you don't really know where your purpose is. You don't really know your purpose, so you're gonna continue to do this until you find out your purpose. And then once you find out your purpose, you're like, all right, I don't want to do that no more. And that's what happened for me. I found out my purpose right after I signed. Literally. I'm in Florida. Coach B called me like, yo, I got it. Yo, you coming? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. And then a couple of days later, I'm like, bro, I found my purpose. I didn't find my purpose. I found exactly how I was going to do it. It was through the glasses. It was through public speaking. So I was like, bro, now I got to people please again, and I got to stand up to my word. Like I said, so I got to play. And I was like, bro, I can't keep living for everybody else no more. Coach P, I love you. You gave me the best opportunity ever, but Coach P, I can't keep. And it has nothing to just do with you. It's just for my whole life. I've been people pleasing. Like, and it was like, yeah, I could have went another semester, but could I? Because it's always like you could go one more year. You could go one more semester. You could go, like, it'll be never ending. Because if somebody would have offered me a contract at the end of the season, I would have took it. So it's like, you got to take a stand and really do the uncomfortable things so you could do what you really want to do. And it was so uncomfortable to go in that office and talk to him.
Yeah.
Because he blessed me with opportunity. And to quote unquote quit in the middle of the season, it's unconventional. But it's like, am I going to continue to worship man? Or am I really just going to continue to, like, or am I going to shift it and worship him? Like, it's like, he put these people on this earth and you go worship them over who can put these people on this earth. So it's like, it's going to be uncomfortable. And they may say something, but it's like, If you truly trust him the way you say you do, bro, he got your back. So it doesn't matter what anybody say. And I hope everybody know I'm coming from love. Whenever I do say, hey, I'm done, I gave it everything I had, literally everything I had, broken leg and all, everything. And it's time for me to walk away. And if nobody can understand it or accept it, it's okay. I don't fault you. But it's like I have to do it for myself. So it was the conversation of letting people down was tough. Actually leaving wasn't tough. Like I had to let these people down. It was the moment in my life where I had to be selfish. And we don't want to be selfish. Like that's the thing. Like everybody's like, if you're a people pleaser or you somebody who wants to help somebody, you don't want to like put yourself first. But you have to put yourself first because if you're not good, you can't help nobody.
Yeah.
You can't put nobody else in a position to be better. And it was like, I can't keep taking on those burdens of wanting to please everybody. I'm never going to find myself. I'm never going to do what God called me to do if I just keep pleasing people. So I got to make the tough decision. And so, that was the hardest thing, is telling the people I love, hey, I'm done. I'm done. Like it's over.
Yeah. The most, what was it? Like the most, sometimes being selfish is the most unselfish thing you can do.
Yes.
And that had to have felt, like you said, like you got to face the discomfort to grow. Yeah. So then like you face the discomfort of sitting down face to face, AP, like it's time for me to move on, telling your people. But then on the other side of that, it has to feel just so freeing.
Yes.
Because you're able to step into this next chapter of what you feel like God has put you on this earth to do.
And more freeing because the stigma was I ran away when things got tough or when things didn't go my way. But it's like, no, I ain't running.
Yeah.
And that ain't me. I've been letting everybody in my head, so it may look like that's me, but it ain't me. This is me. Yo, I'm finna look you in your eye. You know, and it's gonna be uncomfortable, but bro, I gotta say it. I can't go no more. So that was the most freeing. It was like, yo, you really reached a new level where you broke that stigma for yourself. Cause it's like, you ain't run from it. You actually went head on. And you actually stayed longer than you said you would. Right? I said I was done at the MOBAP. I stayed a whole nother semester. And I don't know how many practices, I don't know how many shots, extra shots I put up, quote unquote. Because if I'm done at MOBAP, at this point, I'm putting up extra shots. In Maryville, like, I'm playing extra games, extra practice, extra time with it. Like, I'm doing all of this. So it's like, bro, you really stood up for yourself. This is the first time I actually in my life stood up for myself and was like, no, put my foot down, bro. No, I can't do it no more. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to persuade me. Nobody's going to manipulate me. Nobody's going to say, hey, Keyyaun. Nobody's going to play on my insecurity of wanting to be better for myself. Like, I was insecure about being the best version of myself because I knew being the best version of myself, I would hurt other people because I would have to be selfish. So people used to know how to get me, like, yo, you don't want to do that to your team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yeah, you right, my team. I do. No, bro. I can't do it. Like, that's how I had to get. And you just gotta see it for what it is. And that's what I decided to do.
So you decide moving on to the next chapter. This next chapter is how I found you, quote unquote, scrolling on Twitter, finding your content. Like, so talk about what you got going on right now. You mentioned the glasses. Mm-hmm. Is that tied to Funk Apparel?
Yes. So the Funk Apparel is a quick story. I'll say a quick story. Before I was 23, I committed suicide 4 times in all different ways, like every way. Whether it was slitting the wrist, pills, closing my eyes, driving off the road, trying to drive off the bridge, or even putting a gun up to my head. Like, that's the forefront. I don't really talk about the forefront because that's crazy, but like 4 times. And the third time is really what changed was because I had to walk into my little brother's game, right? And he don't know. I would just close my eyes and try to drive off the bridge on the highway. So I'm crying my eyes out 30 minutes before I get there, and I got glasses on because I don't want nobody to see me like crying. So they like everybody around the family like, why you got glasses on? Like, what you wearing that on? I took it off and like, you like, why your eyes red? I'm like, yo, it's pollen. It's I got allergies. So I'm like, yo, but the whole time like I had to wear glasses because. And I had to, from that point, I had to continue wearing glasses because I'm still going through it. Like I'm still dealing with depression, trauma, family trauma, stuff that ain't even my fault. I'm still dealing with anxiety. I'm dealing with all these things. And so I'm like, I still got to go into the world and be Keyyaun. You know, Keyyaun is the person who always laugh, who always got the jokes. But it's like, bro, I'm dealing with something. Like the strongest person needs help too. And so I'm wearing glasses. And it was turned into a coping mechanism, and then actually turned into a passion. Like I started wearing glasses. When I was wearing them, I was like, I feel powerful. I feel like I could be who I want to be. I got a different swag to me. I got charisma. Like, you know what? I used to think people who wear glasses is just like out of this world. They were famous and either had money, but no, like, bro, for me, wearing different types of styles of glasses gave me power. It gave me the power to be who I always wanted to be. So that is why I started Funk Apparel, which is so many different styles of shades. And I got that going now, and we're going to go crazy this summer. I got a big drop coming this summer. And also public speaking. Don't want to give away too much, but I have a project in the works, kind of about my life. And I will be soon talking to high school teams, talking to kids, and eventually talking to colleges, and then let it go from there. And that would be my reality. Like, it wouldn't be corporate no more. My reality would be going and sharing my story and helping and motivating people and pushing them, being a life coach and pushing them in the direction that they could be the best version of themselves. And also tying in Funk Apparel and, hey, you can do it too. Find whatever that was a negative, because I wore them glasses to hide. It turned into a positive. Now I wear my glasses to feel powerful. So it's all about, I will always say this is all about perspective. Instead of seeing it half empty, let's just make sure we see it half full.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that, bro. That, like, the vulnerability and getting that out there, I appreciate that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I think it's cool that you're able to take something as heavy as that and just body it. Like, you flipped it completely on its head to now,
yeah,
this is what you're doing. You know, a lot of people can't say that.
Yes.
And respect to them, like, that's their journey, all that. Yeah. But, like, you know, you flip that thing on its head.
I mean, it's for those who can't say it right now, it's because it's only what they know. Like, and it's okay if you can't. You know, like, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to be that vessel. I'm here to be that bridge to get you comfortable, to be, like, to express your vulnerabilities and make it a positive. Like, because there's always light in any, I hate the saying, I used to say it myself, but I hate the saying that why it's always happening to me. Like, I hate that. I strongly dislike it because it's like you're viewing yourself and your life as negative. It's always happening to me. A victim mentality, instead of saying, like, it's always going to happen for me. Like, just those small words that we change can change your whole perspective, because what we speak is what we create. So if you changing that, it's like, you know, and it wasn't easy to get to this point to be vulnerable, but it's not for me. I'm doing this for everybody else. I really, bro, like, I'm getting, like, hair sticking up now when I'm saying this, because I'm like extremely passionate about it. I really want to help people understand that, hey, you're not alone. And not that you're not alone, it's like, yo, look, if I can change this negative into a positive, just off changing my perspective, just a perspective, just like a slight change, bro, just imagine what you can do. Like, it's so much you can do. I did glasses. What if like what you went through was a corporate something and it made you feel bad? Now you own a Fortune 500 company. You created a Fortune 500. Like it's so many things that if we just change our perspective just a little bit, or we jump outside our body and look at it like, it's not really that bad. There's people out here who don't even have a house, who's living on the side of the street, don't have a car, can't eat, right? Like you're truly blessed. And when somebody said this to me, I'm gonna share this dream. Somebody said this to me. When you're feeling ungrateful about your life, think about the things you have. Like think about what you got. Bro, you can have a car. You can have your 2 leg. I couldn't walk for a while. I couldn't run properly. Like I used to envy people who were walking. I'm like, bro, I used to do that. How can you do that? Like now I'm mad at you, like, cause you walking. You ain't like, those small things change your mindset in a massive way. And that is all I'm trying to tell people. Like, bro, just look at it in a different way. Like, stop looking at it head on. Take a step back, move over a little bit to the left and look at it and see how different it could be. So that is the power of Funk Apparel.
Because sometimes that's all it takes is seeing someone else and their journey and being like, oh, I thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
Because, bro, if you were giving speeches and stuff while I was playing and I heard you speak on everything you've spoken about, that would be so helpful to me. So helpful. And like,
appreciate that.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, yeah, just sometimes it's not even about like, here's the 5-step checklist to be the best version of yourself or whatever. Sometimes it's, I think kind of what you're doing is like telling your story and say, hey, this is what I went through. This is what I learned from it. And people relate to it.
Literally, we all go through something, no matter what it is or how what I may go through may look small to you or how what you may go through may look small to me or big, like whatever it may be. Like we all go through something. It's just the people who's going to do something about like that situation, right? Instead of just laying down and letting life take care of you. Like I said about the lazy river, just letting it flow you instead of, we finna get out the pool. We're never even going to the lazy river. Like, I don't even want to actually swim in it now because it's giving me that mindset. Oh, I'm letting life take care. Like it's just.
I ain't even getting the car to drive to the lazy river.
I'm not even going there. I ain't even going to swim at that place. Right? It's those things that allow you to change and be like the best version of yourself. That's the only thing I preach, man. It's just be authentic. And if you want to be the best version of yourself, bro, you can do it. Like you literally can do it. Is it gonna take work? Yes. But does it take work to do anything else in this world? So like everything's not handed to you. And if it is handed to you, we don't want that instant gratification because it could be taken away just as fast. So we want something that we have to work for. Because once we work for it, we ain't just working for it and have something to tell, like a journey to tell. We working for it and we have the skills and the ability to not just obtain it, but to continue to have it. So those are the steps that's like most important. So that's why I find like joy in continuing to work on myself and continuing to figure out where I'm lacking or I'm not the best at. Because once I figure it out, like all you have to do is be like, I'm not gonna do that. And it's really that simple. Like, I'm not gonna do that. And you change it and then you become somebody better.
Yeah. And it takes work to get to that point, like you said. But then another quote, it's like anything worth having is worth working for. I think it's something like that. Good things take time.
Good things take time. Good things take time. Everything takes time. Be patient. I'm learning that. I'm still learning that. And I don't want anybody to think that I just got it all figured out. No. Like Nipsey Hussle said, I just didn't quit. I just didn't quit. I just kept going. I just figured it out. I kept going till I figured it out. And when I figured it out, it's like, bro, life is finna like I can only imagine how my life is going to be in the next year. How many blessings, how many people I can touch. Like, life is going to be so amazing. Life is amazing now, but the amount of people, the lives I can touch, bro, that is what I'm doing this for, literally.
So when you say glasses, you're talking sunglasses.
Sunglasses.
And this is like you sell them on a website?
Yeah.
Or what is it? Okay. And
right.
Then how do you like, are you making them yourself or how does that work?
Yeah, pretty much.
You're making them yourself?
Yeah, pretty much. I got
really?
I gotta.
A whole little setup.
Yeah, I gotta set up.
Okay.
I sell them on my website, or I'll even just DM me and I'll come to you. Right now, I'm at the bottom, bro. Like,
sell them out your car.
I don't mind grinding.
Yeah.
I don't mind grinding. I would love to tell this story eventually once I get super big and people can only order them offline. Like, yo, I remember I had to go drive to people to do it. Like, that's fine. But I sell them on my website called thefunkapparel.com, and I got a lot of flavors coming up, different styles, very unique. Everything that fits, every style is going to fit somebody's life. That's what I try to do. Like, I got the first pair I ever had, they're like dark, like classic shades. And that was where I was at. Just dark, just classic. And a little insight, I call it the funk because we always, you know how people like, yeah, I'm in a funk right now. I'm in a funk. Mm-hmm. You know, I call it the funk because, I got out the funk. Ooh, like, I got out of it.
Yeah.
I got out of it and I turned it into a positive. So that's like a hidden thing.
I like that.
Yeah, that's why the name is the name.
That's fire.
Thank you, bro.
So you said different, like everything's unique, different flavors.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that? How do you design them? Like the frames, the actual, the frames. Like the frames?
So some are like oval.
Okay.
Some is like,
I've seen them more like kind of rectangle, skinny ones.
Them the funk classics, like the first one that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So them like, hey, you just going, them like your everyday ones. And then we got the ones where you want to be a little bit different. They're kind of oval. And then we got ones that are like a little bit big for the ladies, And then we got ones that are super skinny. That are like cycling glasses, kind of. Like, we just have so many different unique styles where people can express themselves in different ways. Like, it's not just about, I don't want people to think of the glasses as me selling a product. I'm really trying to give you a feeling, right? That feeling is like, bro, be unique, be you, be different. These glasses are different for a reason. Like, it fit who you are. And even if it doesn't fit who you are, you're getting them because you're trying to get to that point or you want to expand on how you view yourself. So I try to make it as unique and authentic as possible. Give people options to see where they can go with it. Like, who cares what people say about your glasses? Who cares what people say about what you do and wear? That is what I'm shooting for.
And then earlier you had mentioned the Funk podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah. How long has that been a thing?
I started that in 2022.
So a minute.
I started the podcast not knowing exactly how I wanted to talk to people. So I was like, this is the only way I know how to talk to people, so I'm going to do the podcast. And then I learned, like, I could just make, like, reels. Like, because people's attention spans are very short.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, you know what? Let me just make it unique, and I'm going to make the reels. Oh, man, let me just sit in a chair. Who's sitting in a chair outside, like, at random places? Yeah. I just want to grab your attention so you can really listen to what I'm saying so it can really affect your life. People like attention grabbers. So, hey, what is this person sitting in a parking lot with a red chair?
That's me, bro. That's me. I saw it. I was like, hey, hold up. Ulta Beauty in the background? What is this?
Like, what is he doing?
It was raining too, I think.
Yeah. I'll be out there in the snow. I'll be out there when it's rain. I'll be out there when it's freezing. Bro, I don't care, bro. Like, that means nothing to me. Like, my sister had to tell me this. It was so dope. The first video I got, it was like 20 views. I was like, dang, bro. Like, I kind of want a lot of. She's like, look, What if 20 people right now would listen to you talk?
Dude, I would be so curious who she heard that from, or like where she got that from, because I've heard the same exact thing from a guy on YouTube. Same exact thing. I would post some videos, get like 15 views, be like, damn, shit didn't pop like I thought it would.
Yeah.
But like she was saying, imagine you talking in a room with 15 people. That's a lot.
And that's where that gratitude come from.
Yes.
Because it's like, I wouldn't say extreme, but I take it all the way to where it's like, you really understand, all right, I am grateful. People don't have a phone. Some people don't even have a social media, right? So if 15 people stopped in their 24 hours to listen to your 1 to 2 minutes of you talking, bro, that's great. That's a blessing. No matter how many people it is, just imagine like if you were talking in a room and people heard you and people stopped and came in and then people kept coming in and people kept coming in and 15 people coming, then 100 people, like all these people come in to listen. Like just think of it to the ultra max. You will become more grateful because it's like we get so caught up in views and having it look this way because that's we see people on social media. I see ET having hundreds of thousands likes, but it's like I'm not ET and ET's not me, right? ET's in a different journey in his life. I am too in mine. Like I love the guy, but I'm not going to compare myself to him. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be who I am. I fought so hard to be who I am. I'm not going to compare myself to you. I'm not gonna give the devil that satisfaction to get me back to where I was. Like, so those 15 people, grateful. 5 people, grateful. I'm gonna keep posting every single day. I post every single day. And sure enough, the views go up and up, likes go up and up. So it's like, bro, just be consistent. Just, if you're moving with purpose, everything else will follow.
I got a quote written on my whiteboard in my room. Doing the best with what you can, doing the best with what you have right now, and your life unfolds perfectly for you. Love that. Love that, bro.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because there's a lot that goes into that, like being patient, running your race, not comparing your journey to someone else's, like you were saying with you and ET.
Yeah.
And then doing the best with what you have. So like the not having the victim mentality that we talked about earlier. Yeah. Like you could go and complain about your circumstances. Okay, but that's what it is. So what are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do?
You know?
And like, man, you are where you are because of you.
Yes.
You can, it's easy to blame everybody. I'm telling you, because I did it. It's so easy to look at everybody like, yo, you're the reason I'm here. All actuality is you're the reason where you are. And it's nobody else's fault. So you can be the reason to get yourself out of that. So look at it in a positive way. Like I can be the reason I get myself out of where I am because I put myself here. I'm here because of me. Nobody else. So I can be there because of me. So it's like you have to find that positive outlook. You have to find it because if you allow like life, because life is life go life. So if you allow life to life on you and you don't allow yourself to kind of take a step back and gain a different perspective and gain a more promising outlook for yourself, you will allow that river, that lazy, I'm gonna always go back to the lazy river. You allow that lazy river to sway you back and forth. And it's okay with you because you're comfortable, right? I'm gonna say this. I didn't appreciate the good that was happening in my life because I was so comfortable with the bad.
So comfortable with the bad.
So comfortable. I was so used to surviving that I didn't live. Like when things got good, I was like, yo, I only know struggling, I only know surviving, I only know depression, I only know anxiety. So when I get happiness and joy, I'm kind of skeptical. I'm like, yo, what is this? Like it's finna leave. I don't know what this is kind of foreign. I only know this dark place. I don't know light. So when light comes, it's like it's foreign. And I think that's most of us. We get so comfortable with allowing life to beat us up that whenever we do have a stint of trying to control it or changing the outcome and it becomes great, we like, took a lot of work. I'm going to go back to being comfortable. don't like it.
Yeah.
And that's a trap.
For sure. Because it's just like anything, the more you do something, the more comfortable you get with it.
Mm-hmm.
So if the depression, anxiety, the bad stuff, like it becomes a habit.
Mm-hmm.
The like pattern of thoughts that you have throughout the day,
Mm-hmm.
the external situations that occur.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the word comfort was very interesting. And I like that because that is what it is. It's this comfort in what you know. And so then there's definitely this like scared of success.
You are. Like, you're scared of your own potential because you know it takes work and because you don't know your ceiling, right? You're like, people fail before they even fail. Like, boy, before I started my classes, I was like, yo, they have to be perfect. Mm-hmm. Before I even signed a document or did anything, like, I'm like, yo, they got to be perfect. I got to get this. If it's not like this, I'm not putting it out. And I'm like, that's not right. I will wait for forever. I would rather start now, build it up. And once it get to that point, we could look back and be like, yo, look how far we came. Look how far we came. Like, look at the journey. Like if the people think the best time to start is when you have everything figured out. No, the best time to start is when you don't have it figured out and you're just learning. Right? Because you don't know what you don't know. Coach P said that to me.
Yeah.
You do not know what you don't know unless you do it.
Yeah, that's funny, bro. I was I'm cooking up a YouTube video right now that kind of ties into like the mindset of hoops and life. And one of the things I'm brainstorming is that idea of you don't know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. Kind of goes back to what we were saying about God having like a bird's eye view of things, and you have this idea of how something. So like you have this idea of how the world works and you don't know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. Bro, I remember I was a kid. I was like 7 or 8 maybe. I was watching a Lakers game. So this was when Kobe was there. And the announcers or the broadcaster people were talking about how like he didn't go to college. Mm-hmm. And in my view of the world and how the world worked, they were saying that Kobe didn't go to college. And then my 7-year-old self is thinking, damn, I hope this basketball thing works out for him. Because he's not going to have a lot of other options. Yeah. And to my 7-year-old self, that made perfect sense. Yeah. But then there's probably stuff now that we think now, that 10 years from now, we're going to be like, bro, you're tripping. Like, why would you think that?
And that's just constant growth. That's constant growth. And also at 7 years old, you don't know nothing. We don't know. I ain't know nothing.
Right. Like, we don't know anything right now.
Or like, we don't. We only know, goes back to saying, we only know what people have taught us. We only know what we've seen. Like, unless we go figure stuff out by ourselves. Like, being a kid, up until I would say like 16, you only know what your parents is teaching you, or what you're watching on TV, or what you're seeing your family do. Like, you don't know life. You will only know life as you continue to be in it, right? And as you continue to want to like change perspectives, or wanting to learn more about life, and wanting to submit to the way of life, like how it can change. So I may think like, bro, yo, I'm finna be the dopest public speaker right now with the knowledge that I have. And then in 10 years, I'm like, bro, I didn't even know I could think like this. I thought that was my peak 10 years ago. And I was like, but there's really no peak, man. There's really no peak. If you continue to want to be better, there's no peak. You can be, there's no peak. There's no peak. And I'm like, honestly, I'm just getting started, but bro, that's like, I honestly feel in my heart there can't be a peak for your purpose. Like, there's no peak for your purpose. There's no peak for your growth. Like, it could just be constant.
Yeah.
So
again, like, God has the bird's eye view. How we view the world. Like, we're capable of an amount of greatness that we can't even fathom. Can't even
We
comprehend.
can't. Like, and my sister told me this. Oh, my sisters, dope. Sisters are dope.
Yeah, she's gotten a couple shout outs on the pod today.
Yeah, both of my sisters, amazing. And they say, God, I just lost it. They talk about how, like, you would never know what God has planned for you until he's ready to tell you. Like, but you got to trust that he got you. And he really does. Like, you would never know unless he's like, yo, you're ready. Like, you're going to go through this. You're going to deal with this. And you like, yo, what? Like, I don't see it from your point of view. Help me see as you see, God. Because I don't know what you see right now. I don't know what you think I'm gaining from this, but I don't feel like I'm gaining nothing. And then once you feel like you over it, or once you feel like, yo, all right, God, like, he'll be like, all right, this is what it is. You be like, oh, I thought I should have known that. Like, and it's just like, it's so amazing and refreshing whenever those moments come, because it's like, that's when you like, yo, you really don't know nothing. And like, he really can put you places that you never can think. Like the peak of where me and you could think we could go. He like, bro,
That's it.
That's like, you sure? You want just that? Like, I have so much for you. So that is also exciting, knowing that. That's why I say there's no true peak. Because if he has control over it, oh, it would be ongoing. Like everlasting.
That's fire, bro. So this is how, first of all, this is probably the fastest 2 hours has flown by.
Facts.
For a pod. Like, this flew by.
I looked down, I was like,
yeah.
It was 2?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I thought that was a 1. So how we wrap up is, first off, any last message that you want to leave the people with. Could be kind of summarizing a main point that we've touched on. Really, the floor is yours. Just speak on anything that's on your heart at the moment. And then 2, where people can find you, plug away, Instagram, Twitter, where you're active.
Okay. I have something that I learned recently. I actually made a video about it today. I was telling somebody my dream, or my vision of how I wanted like a photo shoot to go. And I was like, yo, I think we should do it like this, but I don't know. And he was like, yo, stop. Don't ever not be confident in your vision. Like it will only go as far as you take it. So make sure you're confident in your vision and what you're thinking in your mind, because you can make it a reality. So don't undermine your vision. Don't undermine your knowledge. Whenever you're talking to somebody, be confident. Understand that what you are saying is what you're saying. If it's your vision, don't be like, can we make it happen? It's like, no, bro, you can make it happen. Like, do it. Like, you really can do it. That's very fresh on my heart, because I'm like, I pride myself on like speaking everything to existence. Like, man, I know I could do it. I know I'm gonna do this and do that, especially if it's guided by God. And then for him to catch me when I was like, yeah, but I don't know, like, we'll figure it out. It was just like, God, I really still don't know everything. Like, I really, it was great though. It was great for him to catch me with that. I was like, wow, I didn't even think of it that way. And you can follow me on Instagram at KeyyaunB, KEYYAUNB. If you follow me on there, I got my Funk podcast Instagram on there, and then I got the Funk Apparel podcast Funk Apparel tag on there, so you can just click on there. And yeah, man, just follow me on there and make sure you go shop at thefunkapparel.com. And great things are coming this summer for sure. For sure.
I'm very excited to see what we're cooking up this summer.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty cool.
I got some stuff in the vault.
Yeah.
I got something in the vault.
Yeah. Here, give me 1 second. I got to check something. Like I said, this is the first pod of 2025, and we're in March. So I forget what number episode this is. But there's a chance
I just want to say I love this, bro. This is like, it's dope. I'm very grateful to be a part of this, honestly.
Yeah, hell yeah,
it's pretty
bro.
Dope.
Appreciate you coming on, man. It's always nice to get people who have stuff to share and can articulate it well.
Thank you.
And you check both those boxes for sure.
Thank you.
Let me see what we got here. Ooh, okay. So I thought this was episode number 24, which would be cool.
That would have been fire.
This is episode number 23, which still isn't bad. That's the Jordan.
That ain't bad. Yeah.
This is the Michael Jordan episode.
We got Mike.
Yeah.
We got Mike.
Not too shabby, man. Well, like I said again, appreciate you coming on, sharing your story.
Thank you.
This was incredible.
Thank you. I from the bottom of my heart, genuinely, like, I appreciate the opportunity to speak.
Yeah.
I really do.
God bless, brother.
Thank you.
Episode number 23 in the books. Peace.